Welcome to another edition of Learn to Live Stream with Miss Eileen. Thank you so much for watching today's presentation. Today, I want to talk to you about StreamYard. StreamYard, yes, I have made my decision. I've made my decision, and I hope you've made yours as well. I am sticking with StreamYard. I'm sticking with StreamYard. And when it comes to a browser based live streaming platform, now, after careful deliberation and a lot of thought, and before I go any further, full disclosure, I am an affiliate for StreamYard. So I wanted to put that out there. And if you're someone who's interested in checking it out, you may use my affiliate link, eileen.link slash StreamYard. And so let's just talk about it. Let's talk about a little bit about my history and your history as well, especially if you've been a user of StreamYard, and how, I guess we could say, how it all got started. All right, so Gage and Dan, they developed StreamYard and they focused on the three pillars. And I'm looking over at my notes because I can't do this without notes, guys, because there's just so much going on. And the three pillars that Gage and Dan started with were stability, ease of use, and professional looking streams. And when it comes to browser based platforms, this is what made them stand out. And I want to say hello to my friend and channel moderator, NLTMW, aka Mike. Greetings, all from near Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Yay! Thank you so much for coming, Mike. I appreciate you always, always, always. And these three pillars, not only because I enjoy those three pillars, I think they were brilliant that they came up with those three pillars, but also because when it comes to browser based live streaming platforms, and the reason why I keep saying browser based, because I'm also a huge fan of Ecamm Live, but many of you may know and be familiar with Ecamm Live, it is Mac only. Now, what was brilliant about these three pillars was not only did they stand by those three pillars and they stuck to that when it came to adding new features and all that, but they also talked about it all the time. They announced it all the time. And it's something that the other competitors, not that I'm aware of, ever did. And to this day, I still don't think they have. And if they do, it's just maybe because they did, Dan and Gage did a weekly town hall. It was, we always knew on Sunday evening there was going to be a town hall, and it was one of the very first things that Gage would say at the beginning of the stream. Okay, we all know that StreamYard set the gold standard. They really did. They set the standard for live streaming platforms. Now, there were other browser based platforms that came before StreamYard, but once StreamYard came to the market, they all had to compete with and try to be better than and one up StreamYard. And they're still doing that to this day. Okay, so it became super popular. Everybody love StreamYard. You know, there are lots of streamers who got their start because StreamYard existed. Okay, so now let's move on into today. StreamYard was acquired. I'm not going to go into the whole history, but they were acquired by Bending Spoons. All right. So Bending Spoons has recently, they have added some new features to StreamYard, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But one of the things that I really want to stress is they continued with the Facebook group, because a lot of users hang out in the Facebook group. They ask questions, and they give feedback and cite if there's any issues. And that's a great place if you're on Facebook. This is a great place for the community. All right. So they continued with that community. And Davide, or I apologize. I know I'm pronouncing it. I know I just said his name wrong. David, maybe that is a better way to pronounce it. And Rebecca recently did a video catching us up with the new features, what's coming next, and also to get our feedback and let us know what's going on with StreamYard. Okay, everybody like that smash button and show your support for the channel. That's right, like that smash button. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. All right, so like I said, I'm going to be looking at my notes, so don't get offended by that. All right, so now, we talked about the 3 pillars, right? Ease of use, stability, and professional looking live streams. Now, what David introduced on their most recent live stream was what they are referring to as 3 key tracks. 3 key tracks. And I like that they're sticking with the number 3, but here's the difference. The key tracks are referencing development and what things are being worked on by the team behind the scenes. And it's important to stress, and I'm glad that he really stressed this, is that with these 3 tracks, there's really no trade-off where one is being worked on instead of the other. They're all being worked on simultaneously. So that not one suffers because of another. So if there's one place that's, people are like, come on, hurry up and do this thing. And the other thing, and people may think, well, why are you releasing new features when we want you to do this? And he made a great point of saying there's no trade-off. These 3 tracks, or yes, tracks, TRACKS, are all being worked on simultaneously. And here's the 3 tracks. New streaming and recording features. That's number 1. Innovation, meaning completely new. Ooh, thanks for the balloons. That's my friends at Apple provided those. Innovation, completely new features or significant changes to how features are done. And I'll give you 2 examples of that in a minute. And reliability. Okay, so we all have to keep in mind that, and of course, this is the same way for any of these platforms, including Ecamm Live, that sometimes when there's a problem when we're live, it's not because of the software that we're using. It could be the platform that we're interfacing with, or the social place. So, it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, etc. All right. It's not always the platform. I hear this very often from my friend Doc Rock. By the way, shout out to Doc Rock and his new product launch called Doc Pops. And you would get that at docmerch.com. I believe that's the link. Anyway, they're for these pop filters that are really cool and you can get them in multiple colors. And so I hear this from him a lot. A lot of times people will complain, well, Ecamm Live did this and Ecamm Live did that. And it's not always Ecamm Live. It could be the person's internet. It could be the person's equipment. So always keep that in mind when it comes to reliability. Don't always think, well, if there was a failure on a stream or something cut off, especially when we're talking about Facebook, uh, don't always think it's the platform's fault. Okay? So, or the software, I should say the software, because I don't want y'all to get confused. StreamYard is a software. Facebook is a platform. All right. So, and sometimes I may use those words interchangeably, but for today, I'll try to stick with using them correctly. So now, here's, oh, oh, ain't it the truth, Mike? There are so many variables in live streaming. Absolutely. And if you've never used StreamYard before, I do encourage you to give it a try. And once again, I'm going to put up my affiliate link, eileen.link/StreamYard. And if you are someone who has a Mac and you like the features and functions of using Ecamm Live, like I said, I'm doing right now as my virtual, oh, maybe I didn't say that earlier, my virtual camera of Ecamm Live. I absolutely love that too. So, hey, got to give them a shout out. And here's my affiliate link for Ecamm Live. So if you're someone who has a Mac, especially one of the any of the M series, all the way back to one, like right now I'm on an M1, you want to go to eileen.link/Ecamm Live and check it out. All right, so now let's get back. Let me get back to where I was over here with the comments. All right, so, and I do, I do want to say, because I know there's been a lot of um, uh, I want to say outrage, but I'm not going to use the word outrage. I'll say uproar. I don't know if those two words, one is worse than the other, about price increases. And I just want to state right now, I'm not going over the prices today. I'm not going over the prices. And one of the reasons why I'm not going to go over pricing is because if you, dear viewer, already had a discount being offered to you, whether it was from before or whether it was recently, doesn't matter. They are still going to honor that discount. So hopefully you'll have no problem when you go to checkout. But if you do, maybe you took a screenshot or you kept the email or whatever the case may be, because they will honor that discount that was promised to you or promoted to you. Okay. So that's one reason why I'm not going over prices. So please, even if you're watching this in a replay, please don't leave me any comments about the prices. Okay. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I just know, here's the thing. Because my goal is to always provide things that I know that even a newcomer could use. And as much as I love Ecamm Live, I know, number one, it's only Mac. And even some folks who may not be that tech savvy may not be able to grasp all the features and functionalities of Ecamm Live. So I love the fact when I first found out about StreamYard, when Gage reached out to me, that this platform, or said I was going to, this software was one that I know could easily be grasped by people, and no matter what point of their journey they were on with their live streaming. Okay. And so I always want to make sure that there was a browser based option available that I could introduce people to. And I chose StreamYard. Now, with the price increase and a lot of people that were complaining, I took my time and I even said, the last time I did a live stream about StreamYard, I even said I'm still going to support StreamYard, but I would be seeing what else or how things were going to go. Okay. Because I also wanted to make sure that the community was going to still be there for us. And, not just for me, because like I said, I got Ecamm Live, right? But for you. I always have you in mind. I really do. I just want you to know that. And so my friend Kirk R. Nugent, and I do believe that is the name of his YouTube channel, Kirk R. Nugent, he did an in depth feature by feature comparison of all of the live streaming browser based platforms. Each one, I'll say the top. You can't do all of them because there's probably a new one, just came out last week. But he did a thorough comparison. So you can look up that video, and after this live stream, I will leave it as a comment. But I better write myself a note to link Kirk's video. Because if you want to view other options, hey, I want you to have what you feel comfortable with. I want you to be able to go live without the fear of the technology, or make sure you have all the tools that you need depending upon what it is you're trying to get out in your stream. Okay? So if you want to deep dive on all the comparison of all the popular browser-based streaming services, then get that link to Kurt's video, and like I said, I will leave it in the description. All right, but let's get back to StreamYard because I already made my choice. I have used other services, ones that Kurt went over, and others I have not used, but just based on his feature by feature comparison, I made my assessment. And also, because of these new features, they started rolling out on StreamYard. And once again, I'm going to stay because I don't want anybody to say, oh, is she just saying that because she's an affiliate? Yes, I am an affiliate. However, I would not be on here making this video if I didn't believe that StreamYard is a great option. I really wouldn't. There's a lot of tools I use, y'all. Y'all don't even hear nothing about. Because maybe I'm still confused about how to use the tool. So if I'm still confused, there's no way I can say, yeah, use this. Just because I'm affiliate, because I'm affiliate for a lot of things. Usually when I get a product, probably the first thing I do is look for that link to sign up as an affiliate, because that's just what I do. I'm an affiliate. I'm an affiliate marketer. So that's one of my monikers. Okay. But these new features that they rolled out, I think are very intriguing, very engaging. So let's just get to the ones that were covered in this live stream that David and Rebecca did one day this past week. I want to say it was Tuesday. Anyway, first they revamped the plans, but like I said, we're not going to talk about pricing. And they started rolling out, I will tell you what the names of the plans are. There's Core, Advanced, and Teams. All right. And of course, the prices go up. All right. This was a long awaited feature, and I honestly have not used this feature yet, but I can definitely see where people who are especially podcasters or people that have shows where they're always having guests. Like I rarely have a guest, but this is important, and that's the Reusable Studios. The Reusable Studios is a feature that I think that must have been one of the things that were asked of Dan and Gage almost every single Sunday, especially as new people came in and realized that they didn't have the reusable studios. Like, hey, why don't we have reusable studios? So that's there. That is there right now, and it's available to all users. They also reorganized the brand tab. Um, it takes a little bit of getting used to for those of us who are longtime users. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but I will say, for someone who's not a longtime user, it probably is much more intuitive and it's an easier flow because one of the things that you have is a place where you can just click on where you can edit what your layout of the stream is. You know, like I could take this banner down, or let me see, what could I do here? Mm-hmm. Or I could put up a logo. It's my EileenSmith.com logo. Let me see, make sure I could point in the right direction. Yes, I did it. I just added that little logo. You know, little things like that. I mean, you could always add the logo, but finding where to do that is simpler now with this brand um, reorg that they've done. So I know, y'all, this next one, I know, gosh, people asked about this so much. Is one I could tell you right now I don't care for, but that's because I'm a little older, or just a little older than most of y'all, and that's dark mode. Dark mode was making me see things blurry, and I was like, so I can't use dark mode. And I have to keep reminding myself because I keep wanting to try it because everybody just thinks it's the bee's knees. But when you're old, dark mode is not a good thing. I just want you to know. Or not old, older, more seasoned. All right, so I just see something here that I just want to change. And yeah, just to give you an idea that, yes, I wanted to take my name down from there. So, yeah. All right, next, the camera shapes. The camera shapes. So, for example, I can do a circle. Yay! And you know, we always were able, not always, but one of the last few changes that was made before Bending Spoons acquired StreamYard was the ability to create your own layout. And so I don't have to be right here in the center with this circle. I could move it around, but we're not going to do that right now. So hold on just one moment. So yeah, default camera shapes. I could be square, and then I can add rounded corners to that. Now with square, you can't really tell, and also because when you're round, it's already rounded, right? And I could use rounded corners here. Actually, I do have rounded corners, so way up in the very tippy top, you can see a little bit of my background peeking through there, just right there. I don't need rounded corners though when it's just me. That's great for when you have, you know, guests and things like that, to just, you know, like make things just a little more sophisticated. Okay, so that is there. 1080p for screen sharing. Very important for someone like myself who does tutorials. So, because I'm always doing tutorials and showing screens and things like that, I love now that, you know, the increased um, resolution there for my screen shares is going to be there. I think that is fantastic. I love that. So 1080p for screen sharing. Now, 4K for local recordings. Here's another thing that I don't care about, but I know that a lot of y'all care about it. And so I think that's amazing because with the local recordings, you can edit those local recordings and have them at the resolution that your little heart desires. You know, you there with your dark mode and your 1080p screen sharing and now your 4K local recordings so that you can edit those. Because remember, we're talking about live streaming, but remember, you can also record videos inside of StreamYard as well. Yeah, I'm going to say that again because somebody wasn't paying attention. You can also use StreamYard to record videos as well. You don't always have to go live. And so if you're recording, you can record in your 4K and have that saved locally on your computer. Another update that they made is with the translations. Now, this has to do with when you're editing afterwards and you're seeing the transcript. They've got now English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, Italian, and Polish. Now, there may be other places where that language appears as well. I'm just not familiar with them. So I just spoke about what I know. Here's the last one that is already available. And that is intros and outros. So you have your little intro video and you can upload that. And you know, you always could upload a video, right? But here's the difference. As soon as you start your stream, if you have an intro video in there, that intro video is going to play. As soon as you hit start streaming or go live, I'm sorry, that's what the button says, go live. When you hit go live. Now, some people complained that there was a little tiny glitch where your camera view would show first and then the video would play for like a second. And that's something they're aware of and that they're working on. And it doesn't happen all the time. So it may not happen for you. So that's the intro, but also the outro. Same thing. When you hit end stream, that little outro clip can play as well. And I love that idea because especially when you're going live on YouTube, or really any platform, you could have your call to action. But on YouTube, you could also have that little video play with your overlays there for the things that you can add afterwards, like the end screens, right? You can have it all set up with the call to actions that you want people watch this next or subscribe here or whatever. You could have that already as part of your outro video. So that is amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what they are working on next. What they're working on. Well, they're working on it right now. What they're releasing next. How about that? What they're releasing next. These are the things that are being released to StreamYard, hopefully before the end of the year. They didn't want to give a specific timeline because, you know, stuff happens, right? And they don't want everybody being all bent out of shape because it didn't happen on a specific date. So here we go. This, my friends, is going to be the game changer for everyone who's already using StreamYard, as well as those of you who are new to StreamYard and considering, you know, should you or should you not use it. And that is the scenes. There's going to be a scenes panel. Because like, for example, right now, if I were to have a guest or if I wanted to do a screen share, there would be like a little bit of a lag in between the time when I actually got the screen share ready, showed the screen share on screen. But with scenes, I could have that all set up ahead of time. I can have my guest layout, whatever layout I want, banners, scrolling tickers, all that set up in advance. And that scenes panel will show up on the opposite side. I pointed the wrong way. The opposite side. Because right now, all my comments, my banners, my branding, private chat, and all that are over this way. I said it wrong. That way. Okay. Inside the studio. But the scenes panel is going to be on the opposite sides. Forget which way I was pointing because who knows when you see it if I pointed the wrong way or the right way. It doesn't matter. Just know that it's going to be on the opposite side. You're going to see a little indication that you can bring out the scenes panel. And I don't know what the limitation is, how many scenes you can have in advance. I don't think that question was asked or mentioned, but in the demo, he had 9 different scenes. But I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to set up more than 9 scenes. And really, practice it with like under 5 the first time. Unless you're a pro at using scenes, because hey, if you use Ecamm Live, you already know about scenes and you've already got it all set up and all that good stuff. But having that in StreamYard is going to be incredible. And I'm not sure which plans it's going to be on or if it's going to be on all plans. That wasn't mentioned. And there's just 2 other, or well, actually 3 other little things that are to come, but they're important. And that is going to be your audio quality and your video quality. Those things are going to be improved somehow. I'm not sure what the exact complaints were about that, but somehow that's going to be improved. And last but not least, there has been some um, issues with LinkedIn streaming, and this is not just a StreamYard issue. LinkedIn streaming has been problematic in terms of comments because we all like to be able to put the comments up on screen like I just did. I put my friend Mike's comment back up on screen. I mean, this is one of the amazing features of going live and being able to engage with your audience and also being able to give them a shout out and letting people know that, yeah, these are my supporters and these are the people that have questions or, whatever the case may be. And so that's been a problem with LinkedIn, and they're going to be doing something to fix that. Okay. So there are some other things that they said they were considering, like fonts, a font library, and things like that. But I'm not going to go into all that because I've already went over a ton of things already. I want you to go into your StreamYard dashboard, check out the reorganized brand tab, because if you're someone who's been using StreamYard for a while, it may be a little jarring, so don't wait until you get ready to go live. Just open up a studio. Remember, you have a reusable studio now, so you could have a reusable test studio, all right? And look at the placement of things, where the banners are, where the brand tab, because the brand tab is the one that really was reorganized. And you're going to have brand settings, because you're always going to have multiple brands. So when you click on the brand that you want to look at or use, you're going to see that preview option, which to me is brilliant because it's letting me know right now if I want to edit something, I can just edit it right there. And to me, this is so much easier. So, for example, if I wanted to, let me put my name back up there. If I wanted to change the way that name was displayed and go through the different themes that they have, I can do that right here in the brand settings. And then they also have some presets, and they're looking into letting us create our own presets. But for now, let's just say I wanted to go through some of their presets. I know they have this pretty yellow color, and there's still, I can apply still those same themes, right? Then they have an orange one, and then they have this one, and with the round camera shape. And once again, I can still use all those different themes. So let's go back. And there was a nice little purple color I started using. I'm going to just randomly pick one. It's probably not the exact same color. So they're also looking into making it so that we can create our own preset and so that it's always the same. But you definitely need to, like for your brand color, make sure you know what the hex is, have it somewhere. And like I said, open up the brand settings ahead of time and then go in there and put your brand color in there so it'll be there for you. And decide whether or not you want to display the names. So, for example, let's say I want to repurpose this. I'm going to go into the editor of Streamyard and I can say I want to edit it, for TikTok or for Instagram stories or what have you. I may not want my display name there because it's going to get cut off anyway. And depending upon the theme that I'm using, it could be in an awkward place, right? Because I'm just scrubbing through the themes here, and it's hiding my little StreamYard pillow right there. So I want to turn that off. So if I want to crop it with me over here, like this here, of course, I'm nowhere near the mic, so I probably won't crop it that way. But however, I want to crop it for repurposing. I may want to turn off that display name. And it's just so easy to go into these brand settings. And this is the brand settings, also is the place where you would upload that intro video and the outro video. And also, do the different backgrounds and things like that. And we still have the background music. We always were able to bring that in. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a bunch of options here, and I've already covered them in a previous video. And matter of fact, I will link that video in the description as well so you can see the background music and the video backgrounds that were added as well. So there's a lot we can do with StreamYard, and there's going to be even more. And they're looking at things from, like, what are they capable of doing? We just want to make sure that things can be achieved with the technology stack that they have. Every platform, I'm sorry, not platform, I said I was going to say it. Every live streaming software, browser-based software, is not built on the same tech stack. So this is why it's so great to look at Kurt Nugent's video where he's comparing the different features because depending upon the infrastructure that they've built on the back end, they're able to do different things. And that's why everybody doesn't have all the same features. Okay? That's why all these platforms have different features. It just depends upon how things were built. All right? So, go ahead and check out how the screen sharing, how much better that is, the camera shapes, for those of you who love the dark mode, and all that good stuff. Now, for folks that are on a higher plan, you're going to have more hours of pre-recorded streaming. Backstage participants are all the way up to 15 now. I know people ask about this so many times. So yeah, if you can afford the core and advanced plans, that's what you can finally get, the 15. And on air webinar viewers is up to 1,000. 1,000 on air webinar viewers. And so if you're using StreamYard on air, it's really a great way, especially for those of you who have businesses or courses, doing, any kind of coaching, or have some kind of products that you want to sell. That is a great way to do that. And you have all the features of being live, yet you're just broadcasting to an audience, or you can do both. You can have the audience there as well as have it going out live to your Facebook page or your YouTube, etc. Right? Because all the destinations, you all should be familiar with those, but and I can't look at them right now anyway. So, we have that ability with the RTMP key to even go live on Amazon. So as someone who is an Amazon influencer, I think that's a pretty cool feature to have as well. And, the only thing when you use the RTMP key, you can't bring comments up on screen. That's the only downside with that. So, hey, when you're doing an Amazon Live, it's more about the products. The comments are great. And of course, you would like to bring them up on screen, but it's not the end of the world. Whereas a place like YouTube, I want to connect with you all. So if you leave a comment, I definitely want to put it up on screen. And so I'm giving you an opportunity because I'm about to wrap things up here. So this is your opportunity. Say hi in the chat if you want your comment to go up on screen. I'll just do a quick recap about the 3 key tracks that the team at Bending Spoons is going to focus on for StreamYard, and I will just call it the StreamYard team. I know change is hard, but it's been a while now. Y'all should be used to that. It's StreamYard. We don't always have to say Bending Spoons. We know Bending Spoons owns it, but it's StreamYard still, okay? Hey, hi in the chat. Hey, Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, so here we go. I'll just leave that up here while I'm doing it. It's just 3 key tracks. Because remember, we went from the 3 pillars, which were stability, ease of use, and professional looking streams. That was the era of Dan and Gage. To now we have the 3 key tracks, which are new streaming and recording features, innovation, and reliability. New streaming and recording features, innovation, and reliability. And earlier I said I was going to give you examples of what they meant by innovation. And I forgot to do that. So good, I'm glad I'm doing a recap. Innovation is referring to completely new features or significant change to how streaming is done. For example, the scenes features that are which is coming before the end of the year, I hope. Also, the reusable studios. Okay, so it's not just um, recording a recording feature that is pretty much something that we probably want to make sure we have a 4K local recordings and things like that. Those are uh, new streaming and recording features. But this innovation is the scenes and reusable studios. Okay. And then reliability. New streaming and recording features, innovation, and reliability. The three key tracks for StreamYard. And with that, I just want to quickly remind you check out StreamYard using my affiliate link, and that's eileen.link/StreamYard. And I'll spell it because you might not be looking at the screen right now. It's ILEANE.link/StreamYard. And give it a try. Leave me some feedback. Leave your comments here and let me know if you are also going to be sticking with StreamYard. I appreciate you very much. And as always, stay beautiful.